Moving on, what is the purpose of high stakes testing? What are the requirements for ELLs, and what can the results be used for?
High-stake testing, or more commonly standardized testing, is a general yearly assessment that is supposed to gauge a student's overall academic progress. The problem with these tests is that they are standardized. ELLs aren't standard. They have different needs. They need more time than native speakers to deconstruct what the question is asking and formulate an appropriate response. Obviously, directions or questions with heavy language load can be a problem. They can also have a problem with relating content to meaning if there isn't any context to jog their memory. And, as we've gone over earlier, culturally based content can miss the mark with them. ELLs are still required to take standardized tests, and because of all these reasons I just stated, they are at risk of failure and of being retained. This can cause students to fall behind academically and does increase the likelihood of their dropping out.
You still didn't answer my question about the requirements for ELLs. You're right about the factors that make standardized testing so difficult for them, but that just means that you're responsible for accommodating them.
The record shows that, during your interrogation, I proved I made significant accommodations in the areas of setting, scheduling, and time allotment.
But that isn't enough. All ELL students, ESOL levels 1 through 4, are eligible for accommodations regardless of time in the ESOL program. There are other things that you should have done. You should have assisted the student by bringing in a heritage language speaker to help students understand what is expected of them and to clarify instruction. That same heritage language speaker would define academic words or phrases that confuse these ELLs on every test except reading comprehension. But most importantly, you should have given your ELLs a bilingual dictionary for testing. All ELLs must be allowed access to an approved bilingual dictionary for testing.
Oops.
Yeah, oops is right. Now, on the interrogation record, you gave 2 examples of alternative assessments you give. Do you have any others?
Well, I do keep a portfolio on each of my students for each subject that I teach to track their progress. Does that count?
Yeah, that counts indeed. What else?
We do exit slips in math sessions. They're kind of a personal reflection that students fill out. And it keeps me appraised of how they're doing, what they're doing, if they're getting it right, and how hard or easy what they're doing is for them.
Mr. Frigus, I'm looking for something specific to your ELLs.
In our reading comprehension, I incorporate oral presentations and demonstrations that offer an alternative for students who are at a higher level in the speaking domain, but at a lower level in the reading and writing domains.
Good. While we're on the topic of students who may speak better than they write, how do you assess writing for ELLs?
I try to scaffold it. For ELLs, writing skills come last after listening, speaking, and reading, respectively. As a student progresses through the later grades, they must develop higher order thinking skills. I have to help them focus and develop these skills, but if I am too critical, I run the risk of doing more harm than good in my assessment. I use rubrics and checklists to check for learning development while not expecting perfect, fully formed academic writing.
That was actually not a bad response. I thought I'd trip you up with that one, but tell the court what are some of the limitations you've had in assessing your ELLs.
What can I say? I mean, I'm a busy guy. These kids need individual attention, but I just don't have the time to give it to them. Some of these kids are years behind academically, even in their own languages. I'm expected to bring them up sometimes 3 or 4 grade levels in a year without even being able to properly communicate with them. Besides that, taking a test can be a very frustrating experience for an English language learner. Many ELL students may know the content, but are unable to do well on formal and background, on formal examinations designed for native English speakers. Content can be foreign to students' cultural background and experiences. And ELLs generally don't have the same kind of rapport with their teachers that native English speakers do. They may not be comfortable speaking out about any of their other problems. Cultural differences play a role. Depending on their cultural background, students may have trouble making eye contact with, or even approaching test administrators or teachers, or even going so far as to not, or be reluctant to display individual knowledge. I guess overall I haven't done super well with assessing my ALLs, but I have found some workarounds. I do use student self and peer evaluation to good effect.
How could you use language proficiency assessments to inform instruction?
Don't you want to ask me about self and peer evaluation? Or we're just going to skip over that?